Hopefully, the wonderful people out there can hear us
Hello.
And see us. And see us.
and see us. Well, no, the curtain was drawn first this time, so we got to switch it up around here. You know.
All right.
I see you stepping up your game a little
So
bit.
they can
there.
see us and not hear us. Okay. I like what you're doing.
Come on, man. Isn't this what you tell me all the time? This is action movie 101. You know, the villain talks behind the curtain, then the whole expose. I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to kill you all, and then
I'll be the villain.
That's an action. Wait, that's an action movie thing for the villain to talk behind the curtain first.
You never seen that before.
Like you
Not
hear,
too many
like you hear
curtains
the
in my-
voice.
You hear the voice, you're like,
Who's talking?
where
And
is that
then they
coming
step
from?
out. Yeah.
Yeah, not behind a literal
I've seen
curtain,
that.
Key.
I've seen that trope.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking, man, just standing behind the curtain, like, I'm gonna get you. This is my master plan.
The proverbial curtain. I didn't think I had
Right.
one.
The proverbial villain. Hear my voice before you see what I look like.
Gotcha. I'm
Because you know me, I didn't watch a lot of movies like that, so I tried. I got something
Did you
right though,
go?
right? From someone who
Did you
doesn't.
try?
Yeah, that happens.
There we go.
That happens. That happens.
But did I try?
I
Is
don't
that what
know.
you just said, Key? Did I try?
Did you actually try?
I
That's what
did.
I want to know.
Yes, it was a heartfelt try.
You had a heartfelt try.
Why?
Man.
The episode
Huh?
just started and I'm already being berated. That's crazy. I'm over
Okay.
here.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to quote unquote berate you. If you would just stop having cap in your rap, then no berating would happen.
Your
There
boy
we
don't
go.
rap though. So hence there can be no cap.
Oh my gosh.
So y'all said something about Poland Spring or something like that, right? So I decided to join in on the party.
So y'all got Poland. I got
Mhm.
Bowling Basket, purified water.
Ooh,
What is that?
It's a ShopRite brand.
ooh, shop right.
Price right in them?
Don't buy that.
I mean, it's already in my hand, so there ain't too much I can do about that at the moment.
Man said don't buy that.
It's
We're well past
It's
the
currently
purchase
being
stage.
consumed at this current juncture.
I feel like there's still opportunity for you to turn it down.
I mean, you're right. I
Did
put them
you
in the
cut
water
yourself, Kate? Or is that sauce?
It's ketchup.
before
I was.
a little
I had
bit
a
of
napkin.
a little bit
Huh?
of TTTV background before we go live. Key got up. Is like, I gotta de-ketchup myself or something. What did you say?
Yeah, I was like, I gotta de-ketchup myself. And look, the problem is, like, I grabbed the napkin and I got everything. Boom, I got it off. Then I threw napkin away. I came down. I grabbed my water. I rested my elbow on my desk. Boom, ketchup.
Ketchup round two, huh?
Ketchup. And I'm looking around. I'm like,
Now
I
you're
can't
looking
get
around,
up.
you
I'm
can't get
stuck
up.
here now. So I just wiped it off with some mail.
With some
I'm looking up
mail.
like, is that a letter? Okay, sick. Oh,
Like,
ketchup.
Did he just like cut himself? What is that red? My man.
I thought it was like a cut or a sauce.
Should have just said
I was
something
like,
way more cool. Like, oh yeah, I just got into a fight with a bear.
If there were bears in your
and
region,
the bear ketchup you. That's
And the
crazy.
bear-
No,
ketchup,
just like it sliced me. We was beefing. You know what I'm saying? So it sliced me. So I got a little.
I found it out. You know, he was facing a bear, Yogi Bear. He was trying to get up in his picnic basket, and my boy grabbed that catsup battle and sprayed him. Is that what happened, Key?
The only fight I've never seen a human fight a bear.
Oh, I
And I've
have.
seen it in a film. And it was called The Revenant. And he almost died. He was like that
Okay,
close to
well,
dying.
Like for real?
Yeah,
or
that scene is allegedly based on a real thing that happened. He got
Okay.
attacked by a grizzly bear. Everyone thought he was dead.
On the flip side of that, I've also seen someone fight a bear, and it was in an anime, Hajime no Ippo,
There we go.
and he too almost died, but he served it. He served the bear.
Yeah, he killed the bear. Yeah, he killed the bear.
Oh, he didn't kill it. He just served it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Oh,
he's a
no,
good
no, no,
dude.
no, no.
No. That bear had to
Bro,
go.
he's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
He's a
He got a
good
good. He
dude.
got a good heart, so he
No,
left the bear.
There is a bear approaching.
It's
I don't
based
care
on
if it's
this-
a black bear, brown bear, polar, grizzly, whatever. You are a bear. You have to go.
You walked
Well,
up
good
in his
luck.
domain.
Good luck.
So
Again,
if boy walks up in your crib, what you gonna do?
I mean, well, damn.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You walked up in his domain. He didn't walk. If he walks up in your domain, it's
I
another
have
story.
all rights to be like, yo, you gotta go.
You know what I'm saying? So he
But
had all
yes,
right.
I mean, but the woods are for everybody.
You don't know that.
They are. The woods are for everybody, but they are home to bears.
Yo, Bear, bro, why you upset? Like, we're allowed to come here, Bear. So
Like,
I don't read that sign.
I don't read that. Like, read? What is that? Instinct. Have these claws.
Read? I don't even know what that is.
That's nutty.
As a matter of fact, why am I even acknowledging you? Have these claws. It's all instinct with bears. That's why.
Why does Smokey the Bear prevent forest fires? You know what? Never mind. We can move on.
Yeah, we're getting too deep right now.
It's getting deep.
You see what you did, Key?
What?
Over here talking about bears.
All because he ketchuped himself.
All because he ketchuped himself.
Bro. My life is different.
Oh, we go off on these wild tangents.
Sure,
I don't know how we got there, but we got there.
In any case,
at least it isn't food.
Huh? Well, ketchup, kind of, a little bit.
That's food, bro.
It's
food.
It was on the cusp. It's food. I mean,
it's food.
Ketchup. You don't do nothing else with ketchup except eat it.
Exactly.
So like,
well, according to you, you dress yourself in it, and then you gotta.
Oh boy,
that's crazy.
We got jokes today.
Okay. You know what?
I'm just going off of what I saw. That's all.
I don't even have nothing. You got that. That's cool.
That was quality.
That's cool.
Thank you. That was the one for the week. I won't bother you as much on Thursday, promise.
That's a lie. See, there you go again. More cap in your rap. If you would just stop that. See, that whole thing.
That's crazy because it hasn't even gotten to Thursday yet, and you already say I'm lying.
That whole thing would have been that was smooth, and then you just had to sprinkle some Reese cap on top and just mess up the whole meal.
Okay, so when we get to Thursday and there ain't no slandering going on, you gonna apologize?
Yep.
Come on, give me the pinky promise because you coming through real crystal clear right now, and I can touch your pinky right now.
But,
pinky.
All right.
Pinky.
The only thing.
All right.
The only thing about this pinky promise is that it all hinges upon tomorrow.
It does.
Tomorrow? Why tomorrow? No matter what
happens. Reach your pinky promise right now, and then tomorrow, if you give him a hard time during his game tomorrow, he's gonna blow. Well, you know what? Deal's off. See you on Thursday.
No. First of all right, let me say two things, right? Two things to that point. First thing to that point, ain't no if. I'm going hammy time.
I know you're going ham.
Hammer time. Second point is you cannot break a pinky promise. That's a serious, real deal promise right there.
I won't.
If you know somebody, let me tell you guys this, all right? This is that G talk. If you know an individual, you speak with an individual, you are friends with an individual that will willingly break a pinky promise, you need to cut ties.
You need to burn bridges?
You need to cut ties. Because any individual that's out here breaking pinky promises, bro, a regular promise is one thing, but if you are embracing the pinkies for the promise and you break that, no.
It's all good.
No.
Listen, Key, I'll tell you right now. Go ahead. Go as hard as you want.
Oh, hammy time.
Tomorrow. Because it's coming.
So a child's promise holds more weight than any other
child's promise. Do you hear this? We have a non-believer in the room. We have a non-believer in the room.
I didn't.
Oh, thank you, Brooks. Oh man.
We have two non-believers.
I just had to throw that out there.
So for those that are listening, post one of our chatters who are in here, VA Brooks thought that we left pinky promises back in grade school.
Wilding, big bug wilding out.
Like I don't know. They all stand on the fact of being of your word. That's it. So if you handshake or you pinky promise or you swear on and you say it,
that is a form of your word, basically.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's pinky promises, which are above all else.
Okay.
I don't put them on a higher level.
All else.
We got it. But it's okay. Go ahead, Keith. Go as hard as you please, because I will have something for you.
Tomorrow's gonna be wild.
I'm looking forward to it.
And with that being said, Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Trigger Talk TV, where we talk all things video games and video games related. I am your host, Key, of course, and I'm here with my two wonderful co-hosts, B.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
And the one who caps Reese.
Pinky promises.
What is that?
Exactly what I said. It's pinky promise. What's up?
Okay.
Okay. Fair.
What's up? What happened?
What were those sounds?
Yo. Reese is having a little bit some mic issues.
No mic
over
issues
here.
over here. What's going on?
It's okay.
Oh,
It's all good.
I know what's going on.
There was a point that I wanted to make. There was something that I very, very, very briefly wanted to speak on, but
Okay.
I'm just
Listening.
now realizing,
Listening.
Oh, I'm just now realizing that I actually I have to hold on and savor that tidbit of information for our next segment. So I'll just carry on with my segment. Yeah, I was about to say it, and then I realized it needs to be held. It needs to be held on.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
I'm even more interested now. Let's see what
Picking
you
up
got
what I'm
later.
putting down.
Yep.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we're going to talk about the Netflix and Sony deal.
Ooh. What's going on with that?
Which is very interesting because it was recently announced that Sony had signed a deal with Netflix to have content released exclusively for them
Just
for the
Sony.
next 5 years, bro.
Ooh.
5
years.
long years. Yeah.
Just Sony.
Sony. No.
Oh, just Netflix.
Just
Sony
Netflix.
is releasing
Okay.
to just Netflix for the
Oh,
next 5 years. And
that's interesting.
man, the most notable movies that are part of this deal. So this deal, mind you, starts in 2022.
Okay.
So the most notable movies part of this deal include the prequel Uncharted movie, which in case nobody knew out there, the Uncharted movie that's coming out is a prequel. To the
So
very
the
first video
games.
games. Yeah, it's when he's a kid, which makes sense because Tom Holland looks like he's like 12 years old. And when I first saw that he was picked, I'm like, yo, what's crazy? It's when I saw Tom Holland was picked, the first thought I had in my mind was like, he is the perfect pick, but no, because he looks nothing like him. And I was not with it. I was like, first of all, he's like 12 and he doesn't look like him. And he's older, like Drake is older. Like how can you make this work? But then they saying it's a prequel, so okay, fine, I'll accept him as young Drake because I don't know if you guys know, but Tom Holland is talented. I mean, like, dude can
fam, you talk about him all the time.
Yeah, he's acrobatic. He's very talented. But anyways, the prequel Uncharted movie and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2.
Ooh.
As well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sign me
True.
up for I don't have to leave my house for that.
As well as Morbius, which is Morbius is slated for. Oh, I'm sorry, Uncharted is slated for February 18th of 2022, and Morbius is slated for January 21st of 2022.
So 2022 is looking like a bad year for Sony as far as movies are concerned.
2022 to 2027, Sony got Netflix on lock. Sony, Netflix, lock.
Bro.
Or Netflix has Sony on lock. I'm not sure how you want to.
Into the Spider-Verse 2, sign me up. You guys know that's my favorite Marvel movie, period. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, right. So I looked more into it and I found out that I know that Sony and Disney, like, they go back and forth with characters and
all the time.
Great business, right?
Drama.
Because at one point, Marvel was just struggling for money. You know what I'm saying? No way around that. Marvel was struggling and they had to sell off some of their characters.
Yep.
And they sold some of them to Sony. So I went.
No, I'll say the notable one being Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah, Spider-Man. Well, a lot, but Marvel, Disney was able to get some of them back, a lot of them back as well.
Okay.
This is
Do they
why
have the X-Men back, or is that still a deal with
X-Men, I believe, you might have to correct me, but I'm pretty sure X-Men was part of Fox. And that's why when they bought Fox, they now have X-Men
Got you.
back.
So they should be good there.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
yeah,
good on
okay.
yeah. So that Fox purchase,
You know,
like, brought back a lot of their characters.
Yeah.
David Hayter had something to do with those early X-Men movies. The voice of Solid
What?
Snake. Yeah, go look it up when you get a chance.
Was he a
He had-
VA in that, or
I think
he was
I think he was actually one of the directors.
Really?
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I would have never put that together.
Let me look that up while you continue.
Speaking of directors, I found this while I was doing all of this research and going around and finding stuff. I came across some very interesting information.
Listening.
Let me get it 100% right, because
Yeah,
I want to.
We like to make sure we're
Yeah.
only speaking facts on this side.
David
Yeah.
Hayter co-wrote X-Men 1, X2, and he helped with Watchmen.
Wow.
Oh,
And he's the voice
wow.
of Solid Snake. Like, come on, dude.
David
That's
Hayter. Watchmen. Listen, cemented. He's good to go for me.
Wait. He co-wrote Watchmen?
X-Men, X2, and Watchmen.
He co-wrote
Wow.
Like
Watchmen.
the film, not the
Yeah,
Yeah.
film.
Well, I know who wrote the book, but the film. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So okay,
probably
really?
why all that CQC was on point in that movie, because it was David Hayter that co-wrote it.
Ozymandias did punch that dude's kick.
He did
Damn,
punch a
that was
kick.
He
the
punched that dude's
sickest-
kick, bro. That was
Yo, if you guys watch that movie,
Yo,
a dude threw a kick and Ozymandias punched it. Like, you know, somebody would block it. They probably like put their knee up or their leg up or something. No, he punched his kick to deflect the damage from the kick.
Yo,
Where in any other movie in the history of movies have you seen that
we
ever?
lost
the
it
aim,
right there.
the precision. Whew.
That was crazy.
That was
absolutely
impressive. But
crazy.
anyway,
But the sidetracked information that I wanted to give you guys, in case you didn't know, is that back in 2020, there was a movie called Enola Holmes that Millie Bobby Brown, aka 11, from what's our show called? Stranger Things. 11 from Stranger Things.
Yep.
Not only did she star in it, but she actually also produced it as well.
wow.
Or she directed it. I'm sorry, not produced. She directed it as well.
She directed it. Nice.
Yeah.
So she started it, and
She
she was
started
making
it
sure her whole vision was being
and directed it. Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, and she's young. She's super young. So I just found that impressive as I was doing my research on everything here.
Okay.
Well, it's not like anybody on set could go against her because she could just mind them into the wall. So
get out of here.
She could do you in with her brain.
Yeah, just
yeah.
But also, so yeah, upon my research, I also found that Sony has its own Marvel universe, bro. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm sorry. I just read the name again and I wanted to throw up.
Wait
Sony
a minute.
has
Wait. What name?
Sony has its own Marvel universe called. Are you ready for this?
Listening.
Sony's universe of Marvel characters.
Sony's.
Oh,
universe.
It's the definition, not the name.
Right, bro.
Sony's
like,
universe
of Marvel characters.
Characters.
They literally said, "Yo, MCU has something great. I want that too." And they just like threw a name, like, "Yeah, let's get that and do something with it." And they just threw a name. Sony's universe of they didn't even try. They didn't try.
Bro, it's just what it is. Like it's literally
no.
Bro,
the
like
SPU
DC just Snyder cut their way out of doing that mistake. And you're just doubling down,
Dude, Sony's universe of Marvel characters. I was like, yo, are you kidding me?
The SPUMC has been around since 2013 also. I thought this was something that was relatively newer.
I didn't even know it had a name. I didn't even know it had a name. Wow.
Yeah. So I went and looked in and I wanted to see what Marvel characters that Sony had owned because I just didn't want I like my Marvel characters all together. Okay, I don't want
feel you on
some
that.
in the
makes sense,
MCU
yeah.
and some in Sony's universe of Marvel characters. Okay, like I want them all together. So I looked in to see what characters they own, and it's essentially all it's Spider-Man. It's basically Spider-Man, like anything, literally anything and everything Spider-Man related. And this includes Venom,
Oh, yeah.
Morbius,
Mhm.
and Mysterio.
Yep.
Oh.
So I did not know this. I did not know that they owned Mysterio, which I guess well, I didn't. I knew they owned Spider-Man. I didn't know that they owned all Spider-Man related
All Spider-Man.
content. Yeah, I did
Right.
not
Like
know that.
Mm.
that was what we were talking about because I was like, they have Morbius, so it's like they must have all Spider-Man lore.
Right.
If it's
Oh,
Spider-Man related,
So yeah.
it's there.
So when you say
So
Spider-Man,
all of his villains, so we have Doc Ock, all
yeah,
of that,
all of it.
so
All of
the
it.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man
So
Love it.
umbrella, basically.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything related to
Everything that
Spider-Man.
from Spider-Man.
But
Yeah,
the thing is,
Mhm.
Mysterio came, he was in the Disney version of Spider-Man movie. So I thought the opposite happened. Like, so since Mysterio was in the DCU, or I'm sorry, the MCU Spider-Man movie, I thought that um they owned him and they would I thought he was owned. I thought he was owned, but instead
Right.
he was borrowed.
Right.
They just
They're
said
like, we're letting you use Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So if you wanted Mysterio or Doc Ock, do whoever you want. We're letting
and
you
then
use
use them. Yeah.
So, quick question. This may digress, but is there a easy way to be able to tell which characters are in the MCU and which ones are in the SPUMC?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, they just own Spider-Man.
They just
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
Everything's
at-
Spider-Man.
Okay, just
All
just
Spider-Man characters.
because
Just Spider-Man.
I've been listening because I don't really do the comics like that. So anytime y'all say they own Spider-Man, like I just learned that they own the entire umbrella. It's kind of deceiving to say Sony owns Spider-Man because you would think it's just him.
I for up until today, I was today years old when I found out that it's more than just Spider-Man. Like I legit thought it was just Spider-Man that they own, and
same.
I thought the Morbius movie coming out was going to be by the MCU, Disney.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No,
I
like
didn't know.
because they had the Venom and whatever else, I was like, they must have it.
Oh yeah, yo, dude, that Venom movie such a wash to me. Like I completely forgot they did that
I
too.
forgot they did that too.
But what's crazy, I looked into that movie as well. The Venom movie was not. Oh, it's okay. So it wasn't well received by critics or me.
But
But
people loved it.
it brought in $500 million.
Yeah, a lot of people liked it a lot.
500.
I never watched it.
I did not. Yo, it was like meh. Like it was like okay. Like my brother had watched it so much, he can point out all the bad things that happened, like all the bad directing that happened in that movie. Like I
ridiculous.
specifically remember him showing me a part where they're on a ramp and like something's on the ground. And then when they change the scene, that something isn't there anymore. Like he was in a completely different position. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just bad directing in that movie. Bad stuff.
Kind of like the Game of
Bad
Thrones,
editing, bad everything.
The water bottle,
the Starbucks
The
cup.
coffee cup.
Yeah. So yeah, they own. I mean, they made $500 million off of that. So they was like, okay, we doing that sequel, and we want Spider-Man, and yeah, because
it was like a couple years ago with the Andrew Garfield series. It was like, all right, it was straight, but we don't really love Andrew Garfield. He's too cool. He's the coolest Spider-Man.
He's way too cool.
He's way too cool.
He's way too cool as Spider-Man. Yeah.
So they were like, all right, all right, maybe we can work out a deal with you guys. Cool. All right, here's Tom Holland. Let's get it cracking. They dropped Venom. Oh, we can do 500 million without you. Oh yeah, yo, run it back. Run Spider-Man back.
Oh man, I really wish Disney just bought Spider-Man right then and there, right after Andrew Garfield did like okay. You know what I'm saying? I wish they bought Spider-Man back right then and there because Tom Holland came through and their stocks went through. My Spider-Man's going crazy.
Yeah, dude. Like Spider-Verse, the budget was 90 and they made almost 400. Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. So
I mean,
it's Spider-Man is too much. That Spider-Man's too much.
Spider-Man is too much.
It's too much.
I mean, they did just quadruple their spending.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is crazy. Like he's like Spider-Man is a huge character.
I
Like
know.
Spider-Man is massive.
Like as recognizable as like Superman and
Yeah,
Batman, like on the
yeah, yeah.
same tier as them. Just
Like
you,
in the
not,
Marvel universe, he's my favorite. Spider-Man has always been my favorite. I
he,
love Spider-Man just because
he's one
like
of the
the weight of the world on his shoulders,
Yeah, he's
and
like
it's
the
like
most
just trying to be a
versatile.
team, at the same
he's
time.
one of
It's
the
like,
he's one of the characters that like you don't have to be anywhere in near the comic book realm, and you
mhm,
know
And you
that
know
that
who it
character
is.
is
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
He's
Like
way too versatile.
know what he's
Like,
about. Yeah.
mhm, yep.
Um, other interesting things I found out about is that Sony and Disney co-own Namor, which I don't have too much. I don't know as a comic books person too much about Namor. I
oh
just
yeah.
know he's like I think he's like the Aquaman of the Marvel universe, but I don't know too much about him.
Okay.
But very interesting is that they also co-own the Hulk, which I did not know that
That
at
was
all.
I didn't know that they still had
Yeah,
a piece.
they
That's
co-own the
great.
Hulk. Yeah.
Because he's
So
another like I'll say he's in top 10 at least of recognizable
the Hulk is very
superheroes.
recognizable as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yeah,
Top 10
yeah.
easily.
The Hulk, yeah,
he's
he's a big
recognizable.
deal.
So that kind of
I
makes
He's
don't
a
sense.
think he's
big
like
deal.
He's a big deal. So
he's a big green deal.
Yeah,
oh my
seriously.
goodness.
I don't think he's like loved, but like
But
he's
he's
nowhere near as loved
known.
as
Yeah.
Spider-Man. He's definitely known. Yeah. Which is why there isn't going to be most likely anytime soon a another standalone Hulk movie. But in
Mm.
my opinion, like I don't even think just based off of like what they can do. I don't know how you would do another Hulk standalone movie anyways. Like how could you make that interesting again? It's basically I don't know if you guys have ever played N64's Rampage. You ever play that game?
Been too long.
Too
Are you
long?
talking about
Oh,
just Rampage? Like just
Rampage
Rampage.
for Nintendo
Yeah.
climbing the
64.
buildings and punching them?
Yep.
Climb up buildings, punch them. Yeah,
Yep.
That's an old game.
That's an
yeah.
old
What
game.
was the original release of Rampage? Like 82?
Oh my.
Oh man, come on, bro. You talking before me. I know N64's Rampage. I prefaced it with N64 Rampage.
1986.
Yeah,
86.
I know about Nintendo 64's Rampage.
Well, when you say Nintendo 64's Rampage, I thought it would be different from traditional Rampage.
Oh,
Because you
nah,
said
nah.
Nintendo 64's Rampage, and my Rampage is just you just climb buildings and punch them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't-
You get a. It's basically. I think you get a lizard character too. You get a monkey, a lizard, and
Yeah.
yeah. That's what
there's-
Hulk
there's-
movies are basically.
Yeah.
You just run around punching big buildings. Like I don't know how you could make a Hulk movie interesting anymore.
Like an origin,
Yeah, I was
especially
gonna
an
say,
origin film.
is there a-
like, you'd have to do like War Hulk or whatever, but they tried that with Ragnarok, right? Wasn't that like a little bit
Of
of War
Hulk's
Hulk?
origin story?
No,
Oh,
no.
War Hulk.
We don't need an origin story. Like
No.
it's
Yo,
Hulk.
speaking
Listen, I don't know. So I don't know what has been done, what hasn't been done, what should be done. I was just throwing it out there.
They had the first one with whoever, and it was whack. Then the second one with Norton, I thought was hot. A lot of people thought it was much better than that first thing they did.
Mhm.
And then now we have this Hulk.
speaking of origin story, I really love the way that they did Tom Holland's first movie. His wasn't even an origin story, it was just his first movie
Yeah.
because they just bypassed having it. They was like, all right, we're done. We done did
Yeah,
two
yeah.
other characters or actors, whatever, with an origin
Mhm.
story. We don't need to know that anymore. Like, let's just carry on and be Spider-Man. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, that movie was fun. I didn't love it. I liked it. I gave it like a 7. It was just like mad fun. It was like a lot of action, but there was really no story. There was really no
No substance.
there was really no substance until the second movie. The second movie, he was like legit following like spoilers. He was legit like involved with the love interest. Like you act like he had his best friend who was now in on it. Like you actually had connections to all these other characters because the first one just felt like a shot of coffee and then it was over. I was like, sick.
That's
was nothing
fine
to
and
connect to.
fair. I just liked how they didn't do his origin story over again.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I was cool with that. Like, I
Yeah.
didn't mind them not doing it. It was just where was the other emotion coming from?
Mhm,
That
mhm,
was my
mhm.
only.
I feel you. So these movies will go to they have Sony. Well, Sony has Netflix or Netflix has Sony. I don't know how you want to say it, but they're on lock with each other for the next 5 years, like I said earlier.
Mhm.
That means that when their mainline movies leave theaters and are ready for home streaming, they go straight to Netflix and they will be in Netflix until 2027, and then whatever happens at that point. And
Right.
then also when Sony films movies straight for that they deem worthy of straight to streaming, they will go directly to Netflix as well.
Ooh.
And on top of all of that, Netflix will also stream some of Sony's older movies, or some of Sony's
Of
older
course.
movies. So
Of
yeah,
course. They're gonna they juicing it back up. They found
yeah,
it.
yeah.
All right, Sony, well, let's do it. Come here.
Yeah, they get to dip in a little bit,
All right, all right.
Yeah. So I mean, the only thing that I don't like about this deal, because honestly, I don't care. I mean, they got pulled to on the new Bad Boys films, Jumanji, a couple other movies, like all of Sony's movies, which is fine. Like, I don't really care. I just wish that Sony would let Spider-Man go. Just let them go. That's literally like your only Marvel character, bro. Like, your only one. Just let him go. Let him go.
You're essentially asking them to let go of their moneymaker.
'Cause that's not. I mean, that is a moneymaker. It's not like their only moneymaker. They'd be all right. Sell them.
Yeah, in the
Mm.
realm of superhero movies run the box office, yeah, I'm not letting Spider-Man go either.
Yo, Disney has money. A Billy. All right, fine. A Billy. Boom. Let me get that.
A
Merry
Billy in one shot. When I made 2 films and made a Billy.
1.5. Listen, we're not talking semantics here. Just give me the
Bro, like,
Just
I'm
give me
doing
the
your thing.
character.
I'm Sony. Why would I let him go? Because the fans want continuity in the Marvel
Yes.
universe? Yeah, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah, I made $500 million on a bad movie. Wait till we make a good Venom. Wait till we make a good Venom. Yeah.
Will they though? Will they? I don't know if I trust Sony with superhero movies, bro. Will they?
Well, I trust him with Into the Spider-Verse. Hopefully, they don't butcher that.
I trust him with Morbius. I'm not gonna lie to you. Them commercials was looking fire to me. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
That's
that's why I
Jared
thought it was
Leto,
about
right?
Disney. Huh?
I said, that's Jared Leto, right?
Yeah, Jared Leto.
It would
That's why I
be.
thought it was about Disney, because
Don't you think it would
Because
be
it was looking
kind of
decent?
hard for them to mess up Into the Spider-Verse too? Like,
I mean,
always
honestly,
mess
how
up the
hard was
movie.
that formula? That was something
well,
brand new on if you think about it.
right. It's not about formula when you're trying to make a good film, right?
It's
Mm, I
also it's
You're
can't.
trying to
also
go,
not it's also
yeah,
not always as easy to win over your viewers with the second film.
right.
If your first film is deemed so high, you have to try and live up to the same expectations, or go past it. At least meet it. To the very minimum, you have to
Right.
meet it.
To the very minimum, you got to
Yeah,
meet it. And
it
that
was
was
a
a
yeah.
crazy brand new thing that they'd never
Yeah, I was
done.
gonna say it was already a double risk. Like, you risked by doing this brand new thing, outdoing yourself.
But they did good at it. Like, people
Yeah,
loved
really.
it. It was a very loved movie. So now you have to do it again. Like, but you can't tell the same exact story. You have to have a new story. You have to
Right.
have
And that was his origin story.
That was his origin story. So now okay, everybody
But
loved the origin story. So now they can go in whatever direction.
listen, I hope it's fire. Currently in the Marvel, anything from Marvel, that's my favorite thing that they've ever done. And
No, it's damn good.
I've heard some cool stories. I've heard that they have the voice actor for the '90s Spider-Man to reprise his role from the old cartoon. He's allegedly supposed to be in it. Like, they have some cool stuff that they're allegedly doing. We shall see. We shall see.
We
But in
shall
terms
see.
of the actual deal with Netflix, Sony, yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That caught me
Sony
off
is
guard.
definitely looking at other markets outside of Sony Interactive to bring Sony money, because they're kind of PlayStation's their crutch, honestly. So
Don't they
now,
have
what happened?
I was just saying, didn't they have PlayStation Watch or PlayStation TV or something like that?
PlayStation View.
PlayStation View.
What, that service that
Yeah.
got killed off some time ago?
Oh, it's dead?
That's
View
long dead.
is
I never used it. I never. Yeah,
I
I
used the
didn't.
free
So
trial
yes,
and I
they
was
did
like,
have View,
that
but that
Netflix.
was them trying to serve out content. Now they were like, you know what? We're not really good at this. Let's go to someone who actually knows what they're doing. So with
Ooh,
Netflix, and
yeah, I mean,
like you
hey,
said, 5 years, and this
right?
is
You're right.
Right.
Yo,
and
I'm
this
They
is
starting to realize.
secured a bag from Netflix too,
yeah,
didn't they?
and this is after I'm almost done. They had purchased Crunchyroll all those years ago, and then very recently Funimation or the reverse, whichever. So they have
Mhm.
the movie. They already been making movies for years.
Yep.
They just secured a deal with Netflix to secure that their movies will be seen by over 1 billion people. They corner the anime market essentially when whatever they do with Crunchyroll and Funimation. They're taking video photography seriously, like film and video and all that stuff. That's probably going to be the next PlayStation at the rate that they're going.
So as far as what the deal consisted of, well, not consisted of, but how much the deal cost,
Mm-hmm.
no amount was released, but sources say, quote unquote, sources say it was record breaking.
Whew.
So
Oh,
potentially
because
got a big bag.
yeah, we need to.
Microsoft would be like, "Yo, we spent 75B, is crazy,"
Yo,
and
yeah.
Sony's like,
Well,
We made it
we can't say that. Well, because Netflix could have been like, "Yo, we don't want to share the numbers either." So it's possible.
"Yeah,
That
but
could
Netflix
have
usually always shares their numbers. They literally just said how much they spent on something that was absurd.
Listen.
What, like a Bond movie or something?
the
So I'm not sure about
Knives
that,
Out. They bought
but I
Knives
know
Out.
Amazon Prime just spent 125 million on the rights for Coming to America too.
how much?
Bro,
125 million.
Oh,
2
but
and 3.
okay, but how much did that movie bring in? Hold on, let me see.
400 million plus deal to buy out the 2 Knives Out sequels. So they paid 200 million a film.
Who did?
Netflix.
March
Netflix?
31st. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they paid 120. Prime paid 125 million to have that movie on Prime.
So Coming
So
to
my
America
guess-
budget was 60 million, and
It was only 60 million.
Mhm.
Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy.
and they
It's-
doubled
There's a
up
bunch
from
of people
that
being mad funny,
one
right?
deal.
They doubled what?
They
Reed?
doubled up from that one deal, not including all the viewership from the theaters and wherever else.
Well, what does it say for box office? Or is that not up
It's
yet?
not up there yet.
It's not up yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to
60
get box
million?
office right now.
Who directed that movie? Did Eddie Murphy direct himself? I feel like he'd asked for at least like 30 of that. Like, what?
Directed
How
by
is it?
directed by Amazon Studios, produced by Paramount and Eddie Murphy Productions.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, Eddie Murphy production.
Eddie Murphy Productions and
Misher Films.
See, yeah, I'm like 60 million. I knew Eddie had to have a piece of the, like, he had to be in there somewhere because
definitely
ain't no way you just spent 60 million, huh?
No, yeah, he was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
there's a bunch
Okay.
of people.
yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. I'm
No,
gonna
I-
try and
no,
check
I-
it out this week or the week.
yeah.
after.
Me either. But I really didn't have much interest in watching it.
Oh, ooh,
Fair enough.
that original is. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. I gotta see this.
So yeah, I was just peeking around really quick to see if I could find some inkling of a number, but it's being compared to the Disney Netflix deal that happened between 2016 and 2019 for 300 million. So that's on average $100 million a year. So if you want to transfer that over to Sony, we're talking $500 million.
Yeah, they did say it was record breaking. So
And
Wow.
that would break the record.
I mean, it could have been 305. See what you're saying? I could hit it with a Price is Right. It could have been 301, but
Yo, I
oh my
hate that
God.
Price is Right.
oh man. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really affect me much. Besides, I love what they're doing with the Spider-Verse. But that aside, I would like to see Spider-Man still be a part of the MCU because you already did it.
So
You let him do the two
you
films.
already did it. So yeah.
So I didn't bring this up. That deal that they have with Netflix with the Spider-Verse,
Mhm.
that was already a thing. Like they have rights, control, whatever.
Whatever. You know the word,
yeah. To their animation, their animated films. Like that's already been a deal. So the Spider-Verse was still going to be on Netflix, like regardless of this deal. Now
But that
this
was
deal
already-
makes it, so this deal makes it live action movies now.
Mhm.
So
live action.
like,
That's so right. So it's like,
yeah. Oh,
but the Spider-Verse thing is locked in, so it'll go there when it's set to go to theaters, right?
Spider-Verse. Yeah, it's gonna
Right.
go. I
Like
mean, that when
it'll be released there, or will it go to theaters first, then go there?
yeah, if it's set to theaters, it's gonna go to theaters first, and then when it's ready for home, when they deem ready for home,
Right
then.
to Netflix.
But they said, given the current state of the world,
Right.
movies have gone to home view quicker.
Much
Excuse me,
faster.
Much
much
faster. Because
faster.
it
Yeah,
would be like a month or something before it was
yeah, about
available
a
at home,
month
right?
after it releases in theaters, straight to home. Then when it goes to home, it goes straight to Netflix.
Okay.
There you go.
Press
Yeah.
You
them
heard it.
DVDs and those Blu-ray discs for those who
You
still
heard it.
purchase those.
Leave
yeah.
Spider-Man alone.
Sony
Now,
and
right. Let's
Netflix.
see how it goes now. Here we go.
Sony and Netflix BFFs for the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Undisclosed amount of money. We're assuming somewhere between $500 million to $1 billion. Stop messing around with the MCU. Is basically what we're getting at. Merge the SPUMC with the MCU and start playing these games. I like it is ridiculous. I'm a fan of continuity also, and that would be a boon for me, like for there to be like a central universe, because there's 3 now. There's the comics and whatever world is happening there, and that already has several different universes, right?
In the comics,
Yeah.
well, no, they killed off the other universe, and it's only one universe now. DC has like a million different universes.
That's crazy. So yeah, we have like 3 different universes: the comic universe, the MC universe, and now this.
Oh, you mean
even the comic universe is like
that's what I was talking about.
In
Yeah,
Marvel and DC, like they just can do whatever they want. Like
that's
like,
what. Yeah.
Like let's say you're writing Spider-Man right now, they'll be like, "All right, write Spider-Man." Like just write them.
Just write it.
So if it's canon or not canon, they don't. As long as it's a good story, it'll probably sell. If it's a bad story, it won't. That's really it. Like you can like I think they actually gave Key like mainstream comic fatigue or something like that, right? Like it was like
I stopped reading. Yeah, well, yeah. I just didn't like.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't like how the writers always switched, and the artists always switched. And then when you're reading one story, it's like, oh, find out what happens in this arc in Punisher 3, 4, 5. Like, I don't want to read Punisher. I'm reading Spider-Man. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, I hated it. So I just went straight indie.
Never.
Boom.
All new information to me. TIO. So
today Reese learned something more about comics. He does absolutely nothing.
And I'm gonna stay out too. That's too complicated for you, boy.
All right. We're gonna change gears here. The Square. The Sony exclusivity is going away, as we know. Outriders was originally supposed to be an exclusive, but it's not.
It's now free on Game Pass.
Outriders is free on Game Pass. So Outriders launched April 1st. It was, of course, devved by People Can Fly, also responsible for Gears of War. And it was published by Square Enix, responsible for Final Fantasy. I like this game, right? So the demo came out. The demo came out February, mid to late February.
Mm-hmm.
I played the beta with our good friend Reese and our other good friend Mike, and we enjoyed it. The beta attracted like 2 million something downloads, a bunch of players. People were excited about it. People were stoked. They even announced that on their last beta, the one that I played, that was the last time that they would reset. So anything that you gathered during that beta would transfer over to your file on launch. Sick. The game was released on all of the current Xboxes, all of the current PlayStations, and PC. Not Switch, of course, not a powerful console. The Outriders launch has been drastically tainted with serious problems. The first problem came on literally day of April Fools. The April Fools themselves don't release a game on April 1st. Don't do that. It's just a bad omen. The game on launch was met with server issues that lasted 2 whole days. So
Unforgivable.
yeah, the game it launched with constant bugs and large amounts of crashes, all types of different crashes. Like turning the game to Spanish could crash your game. Um,
Excuse me?
yeah, like changing the language to Spanish was a crash. Um, it was met with a plethora of bugs and glitches and things of that nature. Um, the next thing is crossplay. That's why I made it a point to let you know what it was released for. Crossplay did not work properly for the first 2 days.
Of course
Uh,
not.
and still didn't work properly until a recent patch. And the jury's still out on that. So that's another problem. All of those things can make you quit a game, return a game, all of those things.
Easy.
But there's something worse. There's something worse. The number
Worst.
one bug, the main problem they're having on top of all of these problems is the IWB, the inventory wipe bug.
Delete the game.
It is
Uninstall it.
as horrible as it sounds. The player is stripped naked and all of their gear is taken away.
Delete the game.
Now let me ask you. Let me. Okay,
Nope.
this
No.
this could just be like
Go ahead,
I could just
Let me pause
I
there.
could, I could just be living under a rock. I personally, I knew about not all of it, some of it, a little bit of some of it compared to what I know now. Um,
Wow.
but I personally have not heard nearly. I mean, I wish if there was some, I wouldn't feel this way, but I have not heard anywhere near the amount of same type of backlash as I did for Cyberpunk. And
Which
I
is
feel like
crazy.
I feel like I should have heard some uproars in the community. If you're getting inventory wiped, like if the game is crashing, if turning the language is crashing, like this is I don't know if it's just as bad because I personally played Cyberpunk and I personally had to deal with this stuff and I
Mhm.
didn't even touch Outriders. So I don't know personally. And again, I haven't seen anything on the web about any type of major backlash. I just seen like some stuff sprinkled here and there.
Mhm.
So I feel like I don't know if it's exactly on the same tier as Cyberpunk, but what you're telling me right now is just insane. And I'd be mad if I paid for this game. So why is
Yeah,
there not the same amount of or anywhere near the same amount of backlash for this game as
bro.
Cyberpunk?
Delete the game.
Reese says delete the game, and Key says that he doesn't feel that there's an equitable,
Yo.
equal amount of backlash compared to what happened with Cyberpunk. And
Mhm.
one, I agree with him. I don't think it's of that level in terms of the people being upset and letting them know, like, yo, this is bad. And then the publications and media getting on top to then jump in and say, yo, this is really bad, like they did with Cyberpunk. Um, the other side of the token is the game isn't as big. It didn't have as much media. It didn't have as much ads. It didn't have as much hype. It didn't have as much pre-order. So it didn't have as many eyeballs, but it should have that same attention to detail. And dude, people are putting thousands of hours into your game and their stuff is gone.
Yo.
Gone.
I
Gone.
listen.
Wild.
I'm not saying much, and that's saying a lot. If I
That is
spend,
wild.
but I'm looking it up also because I like he said I haven't heard that much about this until we decided that this is what we was going to talk about.
Mhm.
And I want to you brought up Cyberpunk, and I want to say probably the only reason that there isn't this much backlash just yet is because there wasn't anywhere near as much hype on Outriders as there was on Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
So
I
there
just said that.
probably I want there were probably as much eyes on it. But fam, if I spend any amount of time on your game and I have nothing to show for it, and you took it from me, and you have no ways of knowing how it happened, why it happened, and
Well,
you don't have a
you didn't let me finish. You didn't let me
uh,
finish before you get
no,
into
I'm
all of
just
that.
no, I know. I'm just saying
Okay.
there's an issue. That's all.
Yeah. So the bug was first reported during the demo, so during the betas.
So while we were playing,
The bug was right.
okay,
So while we were playing and before, the bug was reported. People Can Fly, the dev team, They said that they've made numbers of fixes between the demo and launch to ensure that on launch it doesn't happen. So everyone, they do what we normally do, right? Because when you see a beta, that is the game. I don't care what anyone else is talking about. You might be able to sneak away with like the closed alpha, maybe, but even at that stage, it's usually that's the game, bro. Like, like
That's the game.
usually, like if the game is being like, let's be realistic, if the game is being released February 23rd, and you play a beta in January, that's the game, bro. Like that's the game. That's the game you get. Like they might be able to make subtle tweaks, but the game, that's it. Um, so they did this to ensure that it wouldn't happen again on launch. So they went back into the code, they tweaked a bunch of things, they made sure that it was right, everything was fixed. Cool. Launch April 1st, April Fools. The bug was reported literally the moment the game went live.
April Fools, we didn't fix it.
Live, the game went live, the reports started coming in, and the Reddit and Twitter for this went crazy. Crazy. Videos, people are posting their complaints with detailed explanation, and there's thousands of retweets and upvotes and things on the Outriders Reddit and Twitter. They also have inside Steam, you can complain on their forum, and Square Enix is in the forum replying. They are panicking right now because they're desperately trying to fix this thing. So over the weekend, so Friday hit, they dropped a patch on Friday. The game came out on the 1st on that. So this past Friday, they dropped the patch. Over the weekend, the problem persisted. Now, the patch that they dropped, this is what's in the actual patch notes.
Here we go.
Find this here. Give me 2 seconds.
This is gonna be skimp, ain't it? I bet.
Is this the over when because I know they overhauled like the entire game. Is this the patch that was is this the overhaul?
The big overhaul patch that came out, that was dropped, that was supposed to fix the game. These are the bugs and fixes for the patch. So the very first thing that it says here is overall stability improvements for the matchmaking service. That's usually the first thing you see. They're trying to make the servers more efficient. The next thing is crash fixes with multiple bullet points. This is the one that you guys have to hear. Will fix a multiplayer crash that could result in client players having their inventory wiped. That's in the actual, this is what they actually put. Where's the other one? Will fix the crash that occurs in no man's land. That's like a map or a place on the map where your language is set to Spanish. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So they set it to Spanish and start that quest, crash. The next one is will fix crash on launch issues. Bro, I can't start your game, bro.
Crash on launch. How is this not getting the same type of smoke as Cyberpunk? How is it
make
not?
Any sense, Key?
How is it not, bro?
That's literally in my notes. I was gonna bring that up at the end, but I'm glad you hit it. You hit it right on the head.
That was what I wanted to say before. Like there's another point. I don't know if we're gonna get there, but like
fam.
No, we got time.
Fam.
We'll fix the HUD disappearing in certain cases.
Fam.
I can keep going. It's
Cyberpunk never crashed on launch. That's all I'm saying.
I at least got to get into the game.
I at least got to get into the game and play a little bit before it crashed.
Bro, this leads me all the way back to something that me and Key talk about a lot on here. It's why we love Game Pass, right? All these bugs, all this stuff is broken. Okay. I never have to download your game. I never have to purchase it. But for someone who was looking forward to this game and they spent their $70 on it and they're dealing with this stuff, I feel nothing but I feel for them. I just feel for them. I really do feel for them because
I paid for Cyberpunk. That's tough. Like that's tough.
I paid for that game twice.
I got my bread back for Cyberpunk, luckily enough.
Yeah. And I haven't downloaded Outriders, but I can. Now I know to wait till they're done fixing it. But
Exactly.
if I would have had bought it, I would have been real mad. Like, yo, I just got cyberpunked again. Like, how I never thought that would happen again. But here we are.
Again, but here we are.
And then, you know, there's the people out there that are going to defend it because they paid for it. Like, oh no, it's a good game, but like,
Yeah.
I get that.
Damn.
You spend your hard-earned money on it, so you're
No.
you're sludging through all the garbage to play it.
Yeah, and you know what? In my opinion, like those games are like good, but that's kind of as far as they go for me. Like,
Yeah. You're sludging.
in theory,
Mhm.
they are great ideas. Like, play games with all your friends or X amount of friends, however many they allow in the party. But you play games with X amount of friends, you traverse through these hard missions and you pick up loot and you level up. And in theory, it sounds great. But then, like, after you beat the game, there's literally nothing to do except do it all over again. Like,
Mhm. You
uh,
want to know what the best part is?
Yeah.
so,
You do it without inventory.
Well, yeah, you get to do it without inventory.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
No, you were kind of behind for a little bit, but
Yeah.
Oh, that was me.
But yeah,
I thought you Comcast.
Nah,
no,
but,
that was you.
No, because reason. I'm like, wait, maybe that's me. Is it him? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's funny.
but I don't want to do it all over again on just a harder difficulty. Like, I own both Destiny 1 and 2, beat them both. Me with my brother, like, loved the games, but then after I beat them, I'm done with them. Like, that's it. So I feel like I saw people playing Outriders, and it's the same thing. The looters, in my opinion, it's just the same. Like, but I'll play it. That's the thing. I'll play it. I just don't want to buy it. So I'm thankful for Game Pass, because Game Pass is phenomenal for games just like this, where I want to play it that one time and never want to touch it again. Beautiful. It's perfect.
Especially when the game comes out broken and you can't launch it. So,
exactly.
Perfect, bro.
when
Perfect.
the game
I can
comes
go
out,
download, start game, crash, uninstall. Sick. I'll wait till they fix it.
Fix it, okay. Re-download, because it cost me nothing. Like, just re-download. And I'm not even upset. Like, yo, the game crashed on me. I'm about to uninstall it. All right, cool. Like, I'm not mad. I'm paying. Like, I have Game Pass. Like, I'm not upset that the game doesn't work completely. Okay, I'll just uninstall it. Like, it's a bummer. I was pumped for this game, but
maybe I was
looking
forward to it, but it's
I didn't
fine.
actually. Yeah, it's fine. I didn't spend $70 on this game. You know what I'm saying?
uninstall it.
Whereas PlayStation, I'm paying for PS Now, and I still have to buy the game. I still got to go buy this game. I still have to spend. I have to pay for PS Now to play whatever games they allow me to play. Plus,
but yes, I know what you mean.
Oh,
Plus.
PS Plus.
Because they have Plus and they have
Yeah.
Now. As Microsoft just got rid of Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah.
Saying, don't need it anymore.
Wait a minute. No. It's PS Now. Isn't PS Now you play old games?
Yeah.
PS Now you play old games. Yeah.
Yeah, this PS Now is their version of Game Pass.
You don't need PS Now. You need PS Plus.
For what?
To play Outriders.
Oh, you also need that. Oh my goodness, you need both. What? Okay,
I was
just saying. No, but my point was that PS Now is their Game Pass. So I was like, if I have to pay for PS Now and still buy the game, because it did not release for free on PS Now. They don't do that.
Yeah, like their whole ecosystem needs to be fixed. It's broken. Like, it's like no shot will I ever buy. I will probably never buy a PlayStation Now unless they change it.
I wouldn't call it broken. It's more segmented than anything.
I only had PS Now.
Broken, then I guess, but
I only had PS Now as a free trial, and I used that to beat Eternal Sonata.
Was hilarious.
Yeah, PS Now it's pure trash. It's just a terrible.
I've been screaming it's garbage.
Honestly, even beyond, I mean, PS Plus is really good, but their ecosystem is terrible, because you only have access to the access depends on what console you have. Like,
and not even then anymore, actually, since they're shutting down those older stores.
Oh, so, right. They're shutting down PS3 and back,
they're shutting down. So from July onwards, PS3.
So PS3 is getting shut down, right?
PS Vita, PSP. All of those stores are kaput as of July this year.
Right. So in the PS4 store, you only got PS3 games, and Wait, no, I don't even think they
No.
offered you PS1 games.
PS4 store was
PS4
separate
was
from
PS4.
PS3.
Those are
So
two completely different
PS4,
stores.
No, I
4,
understand that, but you was able to
PS3.
buy. I understand that, but you was able to buy some PS3 games on your PS4 store.
No, you were
No?
not. No.
No, if the game was remade or something like that, and it
Then
was
you
ported, that's different. So like, but there was no, you couldn't buy Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception PS3 version on your
Yeah, you
PS4.
were what? You was going
Okay,
That would
no,
never
so
even
okay.
show up.
Let me tell you why I thought that. Because on your PS3, you could buy PlayStation 1 games. Like they had them in the PS3 store. I
Yes.
remember Final Fantasy 9.
Yes, that's because
Right,
the PS3
those
played
weren't-
PS1 games.
Right, but they also would port them.
Yeah.
It wasn't a port though. It was the
them.
digital. Huh? This was just a digital purchase. Like it was the
Right. Because of their software and their hardware, it was for the PS3.
Yeah, you could emulate.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't have a PS1 thing on it. It would say, like, it's a PS1 game. We know that, but it's a PS3 game.
Well, no,
it's
it
like
had PS1, PS3.
yeah.
It had the tags.
it's like what you call it? Final Fantasy 12 for Switch. You know what I mean? Like it was brought for that. It's not like you're
No.
buying from the PS1 store. That's what I'm saying. So like
Wait,
the
what?
PS4 was completely separate.
I
from
know.
the PS3.
I'm just saying. I thought the PS4 had access to PS3 games.
No.
because the PS3 had access to
PS1
PS1.
games. Yes.
Like,
okay.
you could buy-
I get
like,
what
you-
you're
like,
saying. Yes.
You could
but-
buy Wild Arms.
Yeah.
You could buy
Nah,
Yeah,
and
like
what-
they had some stuff that was up there.
OG
Yeah.
Wild Arms. Yeah, Wild Arms
Yeah,
1.
and what
and
I'm
5.
saying is that was a thing because you could, when PS3 first came out, you could literally slot PS1 games in there and use the hardware to emulate said game. There was no equivalent in PS4 to PS3. You couldn't slot your PS3 disc in there. So there was no point in you making that PS3
There's-
store.
What? There's
available.
major point in that. If I can't put a disc in there, then
I'm not. What?
I'm
you can't put
sorry,
a disc in
just
there, it's
Sony-
all the more reason that
Sony-
you should have been able to download
Bro,
the PS3
yeah,
game.
exactly.
Okay, but
Their backwards compatibility
the
is
backwards
listen to
compatibility
us.
is
It's
segmented.
trash. Listen to
Yeah.
us. We are that. It's that bad that we've all experienced it in different ways. It's so
Well,
trash.
I knew what the deal was, but just making sure.
It's bad. It's bad. And now
segmented. It is
PS5,
bad.
the PS5 store has access to PS5 and PS4 games.
Yep, because it
That's
can
it.
play them.
Yeah, you're like there's
automatically
they're separated. It's all separated depending on what store you what game, whatever, man. I don't know. It's dumb. It's so
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah, like now it's the PlayStation Store, and it's as if it started at PS4. We'll say that.
Yes.
So when you go into
Yeah.
the PlayStation Store, the only stuff that's available for purchase is 4
It's
and 5.
PS4 and all. Yeah, 4 and 5. Yeah,
4 and
which
5.
is
That's it.
so terrible. But you have to both pay for that. You have to pay for PS Plus
Mhm.
and PS Now. Like it's two separate things. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to pay for Plus and you have to pay for
Oh
Now.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Not necessarily for this, but yes, you do have to pay for 2 different services in order to get a quote full
for this. What do you
PlayStation
mean for this?
experience.
Oh, you mean for Outriders?
Yes.
Well, that's my point exactly. Is that even if I'm paying for PS Now, I still have to buy Outriders because they don't offer brand
They
new
don't
games.
offer it. Like I'm not even giving them that comparison because they don't have anything comparable to it. PlayStation Now is not even close to comparable to that because you're streaming the games. You barely even get to download the games, so they don't.
Yeah, you
lag.
get to download
Like,
some games.
It's not,
You get
it's
to
night and
download
day,
the
bro.
PS4
It's not
games.
bad.
You can download
Solid.
PS4 games.
Yeah, that's
so you
solid,
would be
yeah.
able to download Outriders if they did release it on PS Now.
Because those
Never happened.
games are on a cycle. So that's how I actually was playing P5. It was on PS Now. And
Yeah, but how
they had-
long after PS5 came out did it drop on PS Now?
No, they took it off because like the PS4 games are on the cycle.
was
So I think
much
I
I
had.
understand that, but
Much later.
how long after? It was a while, right?
Yeah,
Much later.
it was a fair while. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, all that to say that PlayStation ecosystem is trash. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
That
Tangent
got
time.
crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Run it back.
People can fly promise to restore players' lost items as well as reward all players who played from March 31st. How you got it then through April 11th, yesterday. They're offering them in a appreciation package. And what comes in that appreciation package is your highest level character will receive um, a level appropriate legendary weapon, a level appropriate amount of titanium, and the emote frustration. Um, me,
Oh,
it sounds like a real cheap band-aid for people who have spent hundreds of hours on your game.
Oh yeah.
One of the main posts that
hundreds
got
already?
Yeah.
upvoted
Easily.
on on uh on the Outriders Reddit community was a post by OK Entertainment 112. And I just want to point out that particular post because he made the poster made a very interesting point. It was like, this thing is almost useless because they put thousands of hours. The game has been out for a week, so I don't know if you could get thousands of hours, but
Nah.
at least hundreds, right?
Minimum.
So you have hundreds of hours, right?
Hundreds in a
And
week?
what up?
Okay.
I mean, 24/7 is what?
24 by 7, 20, 96, about 100 something,
Well,
100 plus.
Yeah, how you doing that?
12th now. It's the 12th now, so I had a couple more days. Yeah, because this was posted 2 days ago. So they had 10 days to play the game. The weapons attributes are random, right? It's like
Typical looter.
Borderlands, right?
Yep.
Isn't Borderlands like that?
Borderlands
Where
stats are random.
the weapon might be the same, but they roll the attributes.
Yeah.
So in this one, the attributes are rolled, and there's up to 2 mods that get rolled. And all those different things can affect your playstyle. So let's say you're playing long range, like you kept playing the mission to get the short range version of that same weapon.
Mhm.
So now it's like, you're not giving us that back.
Nope.
Like you we're not like, they might not get the same weapons that
Ever.
they had
Again.
when they
Right. So my question here is, no, that's a perfectly valid argument, but what could they give to make up for that? Like, what could you do? Like, I understand complaining about it, but what are you asking in return? Like, because you literally can't get your time back. That's impossible.
So what OK Entertainment wants proposing is that they should give you either 6 to 20 of each item so you can get the rolls back, or give me the shards that it took me to spend to tweak and roll the weapon to get it the way I wanted it.
See, but how would they know how much you spent? Can they see that?
They can most definitely see that.
They can see how many shards spent.
Definitely see that. Yeah.
Oh well, if you can see,
like, just give us all 4,000 shards so we can just live our life.
Yeah, if you can see shards, then yeah, do that. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Boom, just give us our shards. And he's like, because it's like, that's 20, 30 hours that could be lost per item, per gear, just because you're grinding that gear. Like,
Yeah.
bro, like, one, more power to you, because I'm not doing that. Two, that's so unfortunate. Like, even if I don't play your game at a high clip, you play your game at a high clip and you enjoy it, and they have all of your stuff ripped from you, and they're like, here's a frustration emote, and try and get your stuff back. That just don't sit well with me, bro.
Oh man,
I'll show you frustration.
Yeah, dude.
What am I gonna do? Just log into the game and just do the frustration emote over and over.
Yeah,
like that ain't solving nothing. Cut it out.
Until you join your friend, and then you get a secondary wipe, which takes that away. Sick, bro.
Oh, stop. Yo, uninstall the game. I just imagine me playing Final Fantasy back then, and I got to Heaven's Word. At that point, I put in like 1,000 hours of the game, and imagine I just lost everything. Oh, I'm never playing that game again.
There you go.
Ever. You want to give me like 2 million gil and a couple emotes that I can spend with my friends? Yo, don't. Oh.
Yeah, and dude, don't forget a level appropriate legendary weapon.
Or a level appropriate legendary weapon. So, man, stop. It's not. Yes, what Key said, it is kind of hard to like give back what can't really be returned.
It's right, because what you really lost among all the material and stuff is your time. That's what you lost. That's why people were so upset, right? You lose your file, you lose all that time. But that's the current situation of Outriders. As there's more information, I will find it and I will get it to you as fast as I can. There we go. There it is. That's People Can Fly and Square have come together so Square can publish another bad looter.
As if Square needed any more problems. First, there was Marvel Avengers.
I actually liked the game. It's just broken.
Marvel Avengers, that's one crap fest. And then Balan Wonderworld came out. They didn't develop it, but they published it. So that's attached to Square. Nothing you can really do about that. And now we have this.
Just go make some dudes who stand in a row, who walk in place, and have menus. Because clearly this ain't for you.
Ooh, not sure if that was shots or
like, dude, they just, man, bro, get it together. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, honestly, the last good Final Fantasy they put out was Lost Odyssey. So
right.
There we go with this. And when did Lost Odyssey come out? 01? 03?
No, 07.
07. So there hasn't been a good Square game in the past 13, 14 years?
I didn't say Square game. I said Final Fantasy.
I'm sorry. There hasn't been a good Final Fantasy game in the past 14?
Final Fantasy 10?
Oh, man. 7
And then Lost Odyssey.
So there hasn't been a good Square game in the last 14 years?
Final Fantasy game.
That's what I said.
Stop misinterpreting my words. You said Square game.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. There's not been a good. I'm excluding the online games. I'm
all right,
excluding
thank you. I was waiting for that.
7R was hot. No, you didn't like 7R?
That's a remake. It's not like
it's a game.
It's not. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
7R was good, but I'm saying mainline. Huh?
I said, but you didn't like the beta for 7R.
I didn't play the beta for 7R.
You definitely did. You definitely did.
I played it at your house.
Over my house.
Well, no, not really though. I just played the intro. I remember sending Jay like a video of the intro. I just played like the intro. No.
I'm talking about 15. That's what you call Final Fantasy 15.
No. That game.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that was definitely over both of our heads. No, I liked Final Fantasy 15's like battle system, but Final Fantasy is known for I think 3 things. Okay. They're known for their graphics, for their story, and for their battle system. And I heard this game's story. I didn't even beat this game. I heard this game's story was like 20 hours, around 20 hours, somewhere around there. And it was like super mediocre.
15 to 20 hours. Yep.
I didn't like not a single. Well, no, that's a lie. I didn't like any character except Prompto. That was the only dude I liked. Really? And the battle system is what I really liked, but the summoning sucked. The way you move around in that game, or the car system sucked.
Oh, the car was horrible.
Yeah, the summons sucked. Like, that game had a lot bad. I just like the battle system, and that it was the reason I didn't beat the game because it was free roam, and I got to I was going to different caves and stuff like that. That's why I didn't beat the game.
From the Final Fantasy 8 car system,
bro, I don't know. It makes no sense to me.
Just hop in.
They don't
hop in. You have to put gas in the car.
Yes, but you know what I think it is? I think they don't know how to deal with 3D graphics, bro. Like I said, their last good game was Final Fantasy X, and Final Fantasy X didn't have that quote unquote like open world like world. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Final Fantasy X was very, very, very linear. But it had like amazing systems in it. The systems, the story, and the graphics were all amazing in that game. The story being amazing is subjective.
It's a given.
Yeah,
right.
Well, no, it's. I thought it was a beautiful story. I love the story. Some people might not like it, whatever. But everything else about that game was amazing, right? And so, but that was it. And then 11 is an online game. 12, in my opinion,
it's supposed to be an online game, but it's not.
It was offline, online. Yeah, it was. I don't know. 13 is a meme. 14 is an online. 14 is an online game, and then 15 was like pain.
Just
like
ideas.
It was right. It was a mesh of.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a mesh of ideas that it was a test game. It was like they was trying stuff out. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, Lost Odyssey was their last good Final Fantasy since 10.
Got you. But that's not Square though.
That's
It's Sakaguchi and it's Nobuo.
It's Square-esque.
It's Sakaguchi and it's Nobuo, bro.
It's Sakaguchi.
It's Sakaguchi and Miss Walker.
It's
And
Miss
Nobuo.
It's Miss Walker.
It's Miss Walker, right?
Stop. Can y'all stop saying that? He is Miss Walker.
I just said he's Miss Walker. Like it's
okay.
Yeah,
Walker.
I thought you said
Sakaguchi and Nobuo. I said it's Miss Walker.
I thought you said Sakaguchi and Miss Walker. That's what I thought you said. No, yeah, I know. But that is just like a joke.
It's not even.
I know, but it's a joke. It's kind of like
a joke, bro. Can't even do it.
He can't joke with that. He can't joke with that
because I don't want to give them that. I don't even want to give them that joke, bro. Like that. I don't think Square deserves it.
Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy. Lost Odyssey is Lost Odyssey.
Yeah, right.
No, I understand. Right. Yeah, but like, yeah, no.
He's not smelling what you're stepping in, fam.
I understand.
I get it. I get the joke. I'm just because of what he's saying. I just wouldn't even give them that.
It's not necessarily going to them. It's just the fact that the creator of Final Fantasy and the musician of Final Fantasy made this game. Yeah.
And that's all you need?
All I have to say, the Square Enix got to get it together.
They do.
Yes, Square. You need to get it
a lot of people even say that ever since they became Enix, their games went downhill. Yeah.
I mean, Enix made a few good games back then, but I see what you're saying. Yeah. That was like
and trying to get games to like the world, like cool, but the Dragon Quest and all that stuff does really well in Japan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's yeah. People love it. In Japan, it goes crazy. In any case.
All right. On to the last item on the docket. Back in our October 12th episode of Trigger Talk TV, I let y'all know about the epic war that's going on between Epic and Apple. If you do not recall, Epic pulled a quite funny move and tried to circumvent Apple's practice of obtaining 30% of any and all transactions that happen within anything Apple. Apple obviously wasn't happy about that. Took Fortnite off the store. Google soon followed because Epic did it to both of those guys. And Epic and Apple have been battling it out ever since then. Their formal court case is slated to start May the 3rd. So in less than a month, they're actually going to finally go to court. So between then, when I first announced it to y'all, and now, they've just been getting their paperwork together. To put that into perspective, when I first read the court documents, they were about 20, 25 pages long. They are now exceeding 350 pages on both sides.
Oof.
I'm sorry, I wasn't about to read over 700 pages of documentation, but I'll give you the tidbits that are most important. So again, they try to get around their 30% cut that Apple demands. But because these proceedings have been apace, we've gotten more information from Epic that we usually wouldn't get. So there have been reports, primarily from IGN and PC Gamer, that they've noticed that Epic has been spending quite a lot of money recently. And the odd thing about that, well, not really odd once you listen to it, is that Epic CEO Tom Sweeney is actually relatively happy about that. As a storefront, Epic has a fair amount of competition. The primary elephant in the room being Steam, who's been around since 2003. They have a relatively interesting history, but we won't go into that.
They bought them all.
For Epic to take on Steam, obviously, who's been around for going on 20 years now, you got to take rather big steps. So they have their moneymaker, Fortnite, bringing them obscene amounts of money, but you can't live off of Fortnite. So they've been signing exclusivity deals, over 100 of them since their existence. And we've been noting these every now and then, and I see like in our communities where we be talking that people notice Epic giving away free games. They've given free games away for quite a long time. Those games obviously come at a cost to Epic. So thanks to Epic's big legal fight with Apple, like I said, we learned that they committed around $444 million to exclusivity in 2020 alone.
Wow.
They threw a couple of bags and here's a free game.
That's that.
Isn't this the same year that they bought a town? A mall?
Grand Theft Auto 5 was one of those games? Yeah.
You can't be exclusive with GTA 5. That's already
everywhere. Oh, no. But they gave it away for free.
Yes. Yeah. Not gave it for free. Yes.
But they gave that away for free.
They did give that away for free.
How much do they have to pay Rockstar for that? You know what I mean?
I'm assuming quite a bit.
They throwing money around. I like it. Go ahead.
So that $444 million is what they refer to as, quote, minimum guarantees. So what that entails is you release this game on Epic storefront for a year by themselves before you could release it anywhere else, consoles excluded. So a minimum guarantee is just another way to refer to as an advance. So they're giving that money away to the publishers, whether or not the sales that Epic makes can cover that cost. So a couple of the games that they reference, they only give a price for one. So Control, you remember Control was on Epic Store. It was there only for a little bit. They paid almost $10.5 million for that.
Wow.
Another game that Metro Exodus, we know the Metro series, fairly popular and things like that. They didn't put a price, but we're going to assume it's around the same price, like $10 million or so. What's funny about that is when that first happened with like Metro Exodus and things like that, a lot of the game companies were kind of criticized for that. Like, why are you forcing us to have to go to the storefront to have to play this game? Like, what if I want to do it here? What if I want to do it there? Things like that. But since then, that's the practice. Like, oh, GOG, we'll have this game here for like this time. You have to download our launcher to get it. Steam will have it. Epic has it now. Apple with Fantasia and things like that. It's everywhere now.
Yeah. I think it's cool that the people who make their product get to decide where they're going to sell it at and for how long and how much. Like, they get to set the market. You know, not set the market, but at least they can be like, yo, I know they're going to give me $30 million for this game up front. And then after, when it goes everywhere else, I can sell it to whoever. That's amazing for like the content creators, people who make the games. Sick.
What you got? Oh, I thought you would say something.
So it makes sense to me.
So Epic had their year-end report that they released on January 18th. So this is where a lot of these numbers got compounded in the court documentation. So I'll just touch on the most important ones. So these are all numbers for all of 2020, by the way. So they now have 160 million users in the Epic Game Store. This is versus Steam's 1 billion.
Why are you trying to compete with Steam, bro?
He was like, oh, that's a good amount of users. Then Steam just came crazy.
That's madness.
Now it sounds crazy, right? But you got to remember, again, Steam has been around since 2003. So from 2003 to 2021, they've amassed 1 billion users. Whereas in Epic, they've done 160 million in 2 years.
But see, I mean, that's really good. That's really, really good. But like, were they always trying to compete with Steam throughout these 2 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's like Yu-Gi-Oh trying to compete with Magic or Nintendo trying to compete with actual consoles. It's like,
it's like Nintendo has the most sales though.
But you know why they have the most sales? Because they just stayed in their lane. They're doing their thing, and they stayed in their lane. They didn't say, oh well, this company is doing this. Nah, they completely branched away. They did their thing, and it worked for them, and they made sales doing that, and they blew up doing just them. They just did them. And so I feel like Epic should do, like, you want to have your little streaming service, I bet, do you? Or your little launcher thing, whatever, do that. But why you're literally spending money to compete with Steam? Like, why? Why not just make your own lane?
They want to be number one. They want to be number one.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to be number one.
It's number one in sales, doing their own thing.
It's true. Like, they're doing their own thing. They make the engine that we play a lot of games on. Like, they have so many different realms. So they're like, we want to be number one. No, man. Maybe it's the adage of like, if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it enough to be the best at it. All right,
Makes
fine.
again
That's what you
makes
want
sense
to
to
do.
me.
That's on them, I guess. I mean,
Man,
whatever their business plan is, I guess
they can
if he's
clearly
happy,
afford it.
it's gonna
That's
They
for
can
sure.
clearly
Live your
afford it.
best life. But I just feel like resources, man, just bro,
Listen,
they could better been
these
spent
numbers, the
elsewhere.
numbers can get better. So just listen.
I'm not a
These
fan
are.
of their launcher. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, their launch is kind of poop.
Steam is
But
fire, bro.
And isn't Epic's launcher exclusive to Epic Games or Epic related games, or is it a
Epic
universal launcher?
Games and whatever third party games that they put on there.
Okay, so it does have third party.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
So Epic's daily active users were up almost 200% to 31.3 million daily users, with a peak CCU, which is concurrent users, so users that are on at the same time, of 13 million, which is up from 7 million last year. That is in comparison to Steam's daily of 62 million, so double, and Steam's concurrent, which is actually a world record currently, of 26 million people.
So they usually have 26 million active.
Yep. So
any given day.
Yep. So they'll have 30. Wow. Epic has 31 million users daily versus Steam's 120 million. And then 13 million concurrent versus Steam's 26 million concurrent. Yep.
26.
From
Wait a second. Based on those numbers, they're not far off.
They're not. And
based on those numbers,
see,
they're
now it
actually
sounds a
not
little
far.
closer, right? I don't have a comparison to this because Steam's year-end review didn't have an equivalent number, but PC customers on the Epic's Game Store spent over $700 million, of which 37% of that was content from third parties. This is in contrast to, again, the $444 million that they spent to get said third-party titles. So right now, with those numbers, they're at a loss. Last year, again, 2020, the Epic Game Store community played 70% more hours, totaling 5.70 billion hours, which is double their last year. And this is versus Steam's 31.3 billion hours. Now, here's the kicker one that I think y'all are gonna like. The Epic Game Store grew from 190 games in 2019 to 471 in 2020. How many
doubled?
Games? It doubled essentially, yeah. Well, no, double and a half, let's say. How many games do you want to think are on Steam?
1,000.
500,000.
8,000?
500,000.
That's way too many.
500,000 games.
Yeah. All right. We'll go 30,000.
10,263. So they have over 200 times more games than Epic. But that's kind of unfair because there is the Steam Workshop. So a lot of the games that are on here could be like alphas, betas, unreleased games, things like that. Well, I wouldn't say unfair, but the Epic doesn't have an equivalent just yet. It was actually one of their announcements that they plan on giving the same tools that like Steam has for like Steam Workshop to developers so that there's an equivalent storefront for that.
There we go.
Last year, they released 103 weekly free games, which accounts for about 2 games per week, which were a big part of the titles that ended up making their way to the store to be purchased. And the last bullet point was that Epic has a smaller revenue cut, so they only take 12%. And this goes against Apple's assumption that Epic will not be profitable with this current business scheme. They will not be profitable until 2027. But Epic,
that's what Apple says?
That's what Apple says, because we got all this information due to the lawsuit. Like they had to let these figures be known to be like, oh, you're biting off of us because you're not doing that hot.
And that's their counter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Epic's
try
Apple. Epic's like, you see this as a loss. We see this as an investment. Like you see our numbers spiking. Like we're going up 200% across the board, even if we are kind of sort of bleeding money.
In one aspect of their business.
One aspect of their business, yes. Like we haven't even touched Fortnite, which is bringing in.
Because I was gonna say whatever the losses is on that, they probably made it back in like 1 weekend of Fortnite, so it's fine.
So yeah, Apple is claiming Epic's profitability in 2027. Epic countered that and said they will be profitable in 2023. So again, so more info from the documentation. Epic says that Apple says that Epic, they sound really similar, lost 181 million in 2019, projecting a loss of 273 million this year, and then 140 next year. So Apple believes that Epic is going to lose over $600 million over the next few years. It's sounding real
$640 over what?
$600 million over the next 3 years. This is Apple basing, like, they're comparing their business model to their business model. Like, oh, if we were to do this, this is how much we would lose and things like that.
So they basically got their mathematicians to sit down with their lawyers and say, how can we make their numbers look okay?
Make their numbers look like crap. So I quickly looked over the court case, and like I said, they're both over 320 pages long. And you actually don't even really need to look at the actual documentation itself. If you look at the categories that they're under, it kind of gives you an idea of what exactly they're arguing. So I'm looking on Apple's proposed findings, and you see the categories. Apple launches 2 revolutionary innovations, the iPhone and the App Store. So they're trying to cement their legacy to say, we are the ones who kind of originated this, and we've transformed the landscape henceforth, which everybody else is kind of biting off of us. Another category, consumers and developers have benefited from Apple's continuous investment in innovation. The App Store competes with other platforms for game app transactions. Section 11, after many years profiting from its relationship with Apple, Epic flagrantly breaches its agreements. And that's where, in our October episode last year, where I delved into that.
Gotcha.
The evidence does not support Epic's effort to narrow the relevant market to an iOS aftermarket, because Epic is complaining that Apple is using their clout and their money to control the app market and things like that. The court case is getting ugly. And again, this is on May 3rd, so there's going to be more news coming up from this soon. Epic's finding us facts. If we look at the categories, they're saying there is an aftermarket for iOS app distribution. Basically saying that we feel that we shouldn't be forced to use the App Store. There should be other places where we can get Apple-based things and not have to suffer through their 30% cut. Apple has monopoly power in the iOS app distribution market. Apple's conduct causes anti-competitive efforts in the iOS app distribution market.
Man said Apple has a monopoly in iOS. It's theirs, bro.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about from jump. They want them to change their marketplace to help the people. And so, it's like, I'm with you, but you can't make them do it. Like, you can't just.
So here are the subcategories for that. So they use their control over iOS to monopolize app distribution through contractual restrictions. Apple has 100% market share in the market for iOS app distribution. That makes sense to me. The App Store's profit margins are extraordinarily high. We all know that.
Sure they are.
Apple does not track relative pricing of apps on non-iOS platforms. So basically saying, oh, we noticed that an app is on sale over here, but we don't care. We don't charge you full price for this. Which, again, is fine. This is their storefront. So another one, Epic is injured by Apple's conduct, which with subsection B is Fortnite, which is, again, another kind of touch on my October episode. And yeah, they've been throwing barbs at one another.
Sheesh.
So again, the court papers on each side has increased tenfold. And I don't see this slowing down anytime soon. Even with their court case in April, they haven't even put an estimate on how long this court case is going to take. And this is only with Apple. Like, they have beef with Google too, which I didn't even get a chance to look into those documents yet because there hasn't been much news about that. Because Apple pulled the trigger first in regards to removing Fortnite from the App Store.
Right.
But all of that to say, like, just toss out a bunch of numbers. Like, it seems like they're losing a lot of money. And it feels like that's obviously not beneficial for their stores to be losing hundreds of millions of dollars. However, Epic, like you said, B, Epic does generate enough money to absorb this loss. And at the same time, they want to ensure that developers that they're giving these future tools for to develop games, they want to make sure that they get a sizable return, which is why they are only charging 12% on their storefront.
Bro, they really want to be the #1 store, bro.
And they're spending. They're pulling
fighting
in
Apple
Netflix.
to change their store. They're
Mm-hmm.
doing their own store. They're fighting Steam. They going for it.
They're pulling in Netflix.
I don't know what else to
Netflix has
say.
been spending wild dollars to get where they are. Look where they are. Like you can.
But Netflix was the king, though.
But yeah.
And then everyone else got on board. Everybody else is hopping on board.
So you
right?
probably call
now
them.
They're losing pieces of the kingdom, but they still holding on.
So the company,
Epic was never the king. It's Steam, right?
Yeah. So lastly, the company, even though they just ate this rather giant loss and potentially losses next year, the company was valued at more than $17 billion this previous August because they've secured additional funding. So they're good. And also, lastly, despite being unavailable on iOS for months, Fortnite is thriving on the other platforms. So
Of course.
It is most likely just making all the money that it would have got on Apple anyway. And probably some more.
Well, it's like if I'm an avid Fortnite player, I can't play it on your platform. I'll go play it somewhere else. Like, it's fine.
So yeah.
You just create an obstacle for me, dope.
I just found it funny that Key said, why are you fighting with Steam though? You really feel like you could just enter the market, kind of sort of do your own thing and be fine?
What they've been doing.
Yeah, they can do their own thing and be fine. Bro, they bought a town, like a mall for an office. They bought a mall to make their office. Yes. They've been fine. And to be fair, like they bought the mall last year or this year? It was last year?
It was this year. It was last year. Like the end of last year, I believe.
They bought out what?
The mall.
The town center.
Oh, like yeah. That was last year.
Yeah.
That was last year. So to be fair, while spending $400 million battling with Steam, they also bought a mall. So to be fair, they could it's very obvious that they could afford to do it.
Right. They're blowing money while they dev Unreal 5. Like they're spending money on that. That's not free.
Nope.
Yeah. They're spending money in lots of different places. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they feel like in a few, because like you said, it's an investment. So maybe in a few years, maybe it's not gonna happen immediately, but maybe in 5, 6, 7 years, they might could overtake Steam one day. Maybe.
That is.
I mean, hearing the numbers, my mind kind of changed a little bit. It's just like I'm thinking, just like, yo, if I'm in the office, you know what I'm saying, doing my thing, and a man comes up to me and he's like, yo, I got an idea. What's up? Let's go at it with Steam. I'm like, you want to do what? You want to do what? With Steam? Right now?
And then he goes, I got money. I just bought a town. I bought a mall.
Oh, see? Now the need
He's
is
like,
moving.
yo, he's like, look, I'm only losing by half of their concurrent users.
Yeah. Hold on.
I mean,
this is the mood meter right here. This is the mood meter right here. Yo, y'all trying to take on Steam?
It could be.
Yo, I just bought a ball.
See, that my mind doesn't do that, bro. My mind's like, oh, so you need to make some money for a little bit.
You need to re-up.
You just bought a whole ball. Like, you just bought a mall. You in the red. You need to come back a little bit. My mind's on the opposite of that. So
crazy.
I mean, listening to the numbers, maybe they saw it as a possibility. It probably is a possibility, but golly, man, I just feel like they shouldn't try to battle with them directly. They should just try to make some money off of that platform. Like, don't try to take them over.
I agree with you, because like that's what I would do, right? Like me, I'm just gonna be like, all right, like I got my space. I'm making enough money to buy a town. I'm good. I don't have to touch it. But like some people are looking at it as, especially it seems like they are, is like, if we compete with them, then we'll be the competition. So we're the Burger King to the McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? That they're trying to be that competitor, because like when you have competition, it usually breeds sales.
Yeah.
Right. You usually pick one over the other. Sony versus PlayStation. This versus them. You usually pick one over the other. And when you're in that position, you make it hand over fist. It's not even fair. It's not even fair. So I don't. If the CEO and the higher ups are happy about spending all this money, I mean, they have to say that. But if they truly are, then that's dope. Because I'm beefing with Steam if I don't have to. Like for what?
Bro, I ain't bro. Bro. Y'all know I got a card idea, a card game design idea or whatever,
Yeah.
right? That's like me finally getting this thing into fruition. And you know I want it to be a mobile game or a digital card game.
Yeah.
That's like me saying, go out and actively saying, I bet we about to take over Hearthstone's market. Like,
bro,
We're about
I'll tell
to go
you
fight
what.
with Blizzard.
As a consumer, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll check your game out. I'll at least check it out because you said that. Because you said I'm competing with Magic. I'm like,
look, hold on, time out. Wait a minute, you are confusing me. I will absolutely say this game competes with this game. I will not actively put out money to compete with said game.
No. What I'm saying is what they're doing. Like in their spot, they're probably like, well, all right, if I say I'm battling Steam, then someone's gonna want to come check us out.
Right. No. But they're doing more than that. They spent $400 million actually battling Steam. Like as a marketing ploy, I will say I'm as good as Hearthstone. You feel me? I will say that. Hearthstone, come over here. But I'm not gonna shell out I'm not gonna shut out.
You're gonna talk about it, but not be about it.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be about it. I'm just gonna talk about it.
I'm not gonna be about it. Oh no! See,
I'm just gonna talk about it.
Yo, Keith,
then what do you want from Square, bro? They can just talk about it, or we're gonna make some cool games and be like,
the very same thing. That is the very same thing that got me to buy Far Cry 3 and trade in my Skyrim. A commercial literally said it's like Skyrim with guns. They verbatim.
I remember this.
Like Skyrim with guns. Yep. Oh, Skyrim, see you later.
Right to GameStop.
See you later.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? So you can talk. You want to market, live your best life. It's about what you're actually doing. That's what I'm talking about.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'll end the segment.
I'm glad they're backing it up. What they're actually saying that they're doing, I'm very pumped. Like, if this is what they want to do, fight. I want to see it, bro.
Right. Do it.
Let me see. You see what you got, man.
I'll close it out with Tim Sweeney's response on Twitter to IGN because they actually did they did some research into this, and their tweet saying Epic was set to lose 330 million, so on and so forth. So Tim Sweeney responded, "That's right," and has proven to be a fantastic success in reaching gamers with great games and a fantastic investment into growing the business. Apple spins this as losing money, but spending now in order to build a great profitable business in the future is exactly what investment is. It's equally true.
So far, so good.
Whether you're building a factory, a store, or a game.
True.
Respectable.
When the publisher signs on for a game, they gotta believe, yo, man, it's a bread. Make it happen. It's an investment.
At risk of not recouping their costs.
Because you could get Outriders.
You could get Marvel's Avengers.
You could get Avengers.
You could get no, I'm not gonna.
You could get Cyberpunk.
You could get Cyberpunk. I was
gonna say that, but Cyberpunk they did it themselves.
They
like
did it themselves. So
right, they did do it themselves.
But
oh man,
there are a lot of numbers flying around. So we have this. Listen, gaming is going to be relatively interesting in the next few years. Now that we're all PC gamers, now we've actually embraced all the platforms, and now we're aware of what is happening in the gaming world all around, instead of just in our Sony or Xbox world. It's going to be an interesting year.
That's for sure.
100%.
With that being said, I guess is it? I'm looking at my clock. I think it could be. Is it time?
Is it time?
Is it time for everybody's
favorite segment?
Run the thing. Do the
favorite segment of the week.
I already played the music.
I was trying to.
I know. It didn't do it right, but the music's.
I was giving you time. I was trying to give you time.
I'm glad the people could hear it.
Yes.
Because we couldn't. All right, moving right on.
DJ Clueless over here.
DJ Clueless over here.
Nope.
I haven't heard that. Wow.
You don't even know what's going on. but I'm gonna leave it.
Like, yo, for those of you who don't know who DJ Clue is, because you're just probably not old enough, or maybe you didn't do enough research, check out DJ Clue and realize why we say DJ Clueless. That's
and look
funny.
at all the Clueless memes, but go on.
That's so funny. All right. Shoo, almost hit the game. That's crazy. The game was released in 1993. 93, yes.
Okay.
1993. The game was developed by Sega and published by Sega. Game was what am I looking for here? Designer. Yeah, dude, I am so bad at Japanese last names. I am not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. The producer is Takayami, and we'll leave it there. Moving right along.
I have to see this.
Yo, I'm not going to do it to Kazuyuki like that.
I'll do it.
His last name, you on your own with that. The game was released in 93. The game is Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master.
Ooh,
Shinobi
3?
Bro.
Is that the purple ninja? Well, no, it's the black ninja with the eyes, right?
He actually wears white. Joe Musashi wears white.
Wait, so
Shinobi 3?
Shinobi 3.
Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master.
Return of the Ninja Master.
Now, what person's name were you saying? The director, the producer, who? I want to see this.
Oh, you about to hit it?
I'm gonna give it a try.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen this game a day in my life.
I've seen it before. I just never played
it. What am I looking at here? Oh, the other producer.
The other producer. So Tomiya Tamaki and Tokunori Kaneyasu?
Yeah, you on your own with that.
He said, yeah, you on your own with that.
Got it.
Shout out to y'all for making a great game.
I've never seen this game before a day in my life.
Ooh, so this game, I played a lot of this game when I was a kid.
Really?
So yeah, my older brother loved the Shinobi series. And they would always go out, because they were older than me. So they'd be at their friend's house, and maybe their friend had a Mega Drive or Game Gear, and they would play the older Shinobi games. And then this one came to Genesis. So this one came to Sega Genesis, and I was finally able to play it. So they got it, they were playing it, and I had to watch, I had to watch them play until it was finally, I get a turn, oh my God. And I fell in love. I love platformers. I love beat 'em up games. I love all that type of stuff. So this is a 2D side scroller adventure game of the ages. This game, I just remember so many friends in the neighborhood. Oh, yo, you played the new Shinobi, it's crazy. Oh. And the game was crazy. The game was cool. The development. So Shinobi 3 was actually supposed to be released in 92. And
delays.
They had announced it. Right, so they announced the game, and they showed illustrations of the game. They showed artwork and level design, all types of stuff. And then there was nothing about the game. Nothing. It just gone. Everyone was like, you can't announce a giant game and then poof, nothing.
So they basically did what Techland did with Dying Light 2.
Kinda. But not as long, right? Because it was supposed to be released in 92. The game was actually released in 93. So not as crazy.
Okay.
What actually happened was when the game was viewed, they were not happy with the final version of the game. So instead of cyberpunking it, or instead of Outriders or whatever else that we get these days, they said no, took the game back in, fixed it, fixed a whole bunch of stuff. All the stuff that they originally showed that was missing from the final version, they either put it in or they changed it with new abilities or new things or new whatever. They tweaked the gameplay, they made it cool, and then they released it in 93, and the game was a smash hit. People love this game. Yeah.
I think that was easier to do back then, though, man, because these games weren't that big. Like you said, they took the whole thing back. They showed it. It was beta, right? Like what you see is what you're probably going to get.
Right. It was like 91, 90, like late 92. I mean, early 92. I mean, because this is the time of gaming magazines and things of that nature. So who
man.
knows when they took the pictures, but then
man.
those pictures to be in the magazine to be then mailed to your house and in the shops. You know what I'm saying?
That hit me when you said that, man.
Miss gaming magazines, man. I do.
That
I miss
hit
them.
me.
I
looked forward to opening the mailbox to seeing that Game Informer in that, John.
It was sick.
You guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
No, but I didn't mean to interrupt. You just that hurt when you said that.
Yeah, bro. That's what it is. But yeah, the reception for this game was great. It received the notable critically acclaimed title.
It's like Okage.
Back in '93.
We're not doing that, but go
I
ahead.
never saw that critically acclaimed badge on that game, but I hope so.
We're not doing that.
Yes, the game. A lot of people said that the game was well, no, not a lot. Some people said that the game was not as hard as its predecessor, Revenge of Shinobi. But the gameplay itself was significantly better because you had air dashes and do all these new things that you couldn't do in the old. So it was along the lines of, now that you know how to add new tools, you now have to make the game harder. This is one of those games that started that, okay, you're giving us new tools, you then have to add new tools for the game world to kill me, to make the game harder.
Like you either got to make sure I utilize those tools a lot, use them in different ways, or deal with the fact that I am using said tools.
Right. This game was later ported to a VC in 2007, and it was ported to the 3DS as a 3D classic in 2013.
Yeah,
so the game has been released numerous times. It's a classic, man. If you've never seen the White Ninja running across the screen, tossing shurikens and covered in electricity and shooting flaming dragons out of his sword, then I don't know what to tell you. This is a
never
classic.
seen it.
I love this game.
I haven't seen it, so I'll admit something.
Crazy.
I've never seen a Mega Drive a day in my life, like a physical one. Never seen one before. So any Mega Drive game, I never played. So I obviously haven't seen this. And I was just like, as you said, when it got ported, it's been ported everywhere. Like the Genesis collection for the PS2, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection for the 360 and the PS3. Like you said, the Wii's Virtual Console, PC on Steam, iPhone,
Dude, the game is,
and the 3DS. Obviously, it's a good game if it got ported everywhere.
Shinobi is like Streets of Rage or Final Fight, or it's like classically iconic to gaming. That's Shinobi. That's Shinobi in a nutshell. Boom. So that is my throwback of the week. Shinobi 3. Return the Ninja.
I might have to get it. Might have to get it played.
Return of the Ninja Master. Excuse me.
If there's Revenge of the Shinobi came out in '89.
Yeah. Crazy, right? And the sequel came out 4 years later.
And the sequel came out 4 years later. Yeah, man. I didn't spend as much time in the Genesis world, the Sega world.
Bro.
Sorry.
Yo, Sega had some heat before,
It
man.
definitely got some heat. Like
they did Sonic, right? Sonic.
R.I.P.
Didn't you realize that there were a number of like RPG gems on the Sega systems that we didn't even know about before?
Yeah, the Sega Saturn for me. I had no idea so many great RPGs came out.
Never seen a Saturn a day in my life either. I've only seen
I had a
Genesis
Saturn
and Dreamcast. And Game Gear. Only 3 consoles I've ever seen or owned. So
yeah, my older brother, he used to work a summer job at this after school program. And that's how he would get his consoles. Like literally, like every check, he just go buy a console. He just be like, I bet. See, like literally, without him and Key, I wouldn't have played.
Actually, now that I think about
half of the games I've played.
That's how I made a fair amount of my money too. Like I did an after school program, watching, parents drop their kids off the camp, the summer camp, basically.
Yeah.
And that was $500 every couple of weeks.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm like, this is going towards the games.
T-Mobile Wing? Is that what it's going to?
The Wing. Oh my goodness,
man.
Bro, you couldn't tell Reese that was a mediocre phone to save anyone's life.
Oh no, that phone was basura. But I wasn't about to tell y'all this. No, it was trash. Then.
It was trash. Okay.
I didn't have a data plan, so I was just using the phone with a keyboard.
Just winging it. Just winging it.
Ooh, I see what you're doing.
You like that? You like that?
The
All right.
segues, the segues.
You know.
But let's run it back for these fine
yeah,
people.
go ahead and run it back.
So,
Go ahead and run it back.
Outriders, plethora of bugs. It feels like Cyberpunk all over again. Where
But not
is
getting the same amount as heat.
Yeah, where is the outrage?
Feels worse or just as bad as, and we're not hearing enough about it. I don't know if it's because the game it wasn't as big, but y'all, the community for Outriders need to stand up, scream from the rooftops. This is crazy.
I think they are.
You gonna inventory wipe me, bro? Yo, nah, bro. You gotta hear my mouth, dude. I'm sorry.
Uninstall.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Pay $70 for that. That game came out. It was $70 or $60.
I'm assuming that's a $70 game.
$70 game, man. That's just
$70.
crazy.
I put 200 hours in your game, and I have no proof that I've put 200 hours into your game. I haven't had to. I bet any amount of money if you go on that subreddit right now, there's probably new posts going up every minute.
It's on sale on Green Man Gaming.
Sale. It just came out.
Green Man, they do that sometimes on G&G. Just to bring some attention to the site and things like that. They'll take a hit for the game.
No, this game is $59.99.
Oh, it is $59.99. Okay. There you go.
$60, man, down the drain.
It stings ever so slightly less. $10 is worth all the pain and suffering of an inventory wipe, though. So you better listen.
Yo, just hearing inventory wipe.
Yo, when you said that, when you suggested this, I'm like, oh no.
In any case, but that Netflix Sony deal.
How you feeling about that, Kate?
I don't care. You know what? There's something I brought up. I didn't bring up that I found out during the Netflix Sony deal. They actually released like the actual like contract that about with the whole Spider-Man deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Sony has the utmost control over Spider-Man. I'm talking about like it goes down to Spider-Man can only wear these colors. Spider-Man can only act this way. And then it says it says like some Spider-Man cannot be seen drinking or smoking, and Spider-Man cannot kill unless whatever reason and then in parentheses next to that it'll say unless seen in a black suit and it has to
yeah. Oh, yo, that stuff's super specific.
It is so specific. I was reading through it's mad pages, but I was reading through some of it, and it was going through all of the different characters that they have. I mean, when I tell you, I said that they own like all the Spider-Man characters, but when I tell you all the Spider-Man characters, I mean the NPCs as well. Like if the NPC has a name, Sony owns that NPC as well.
That's
right.
Of course.
All of it.
J. Jonah Jameson, we got that.
Oh yeah. Him as well. That's why he's seen in both they have it as well.
So really quick, because Spider-Man Noir, right? Doesn't
Spider-Man who?
Noir? Doesn't he?
Yep.
Noir.
Doesn't he?
Who's Spider-Man Noir?
Doesn't he kill?
That's the Nicolas Cage one. He's like Spider-Man from like 1942.
But doesn't he kill?
Nicolas Cage?
Yeah.
Well, he's the one that did the voice acting for him. But
you're talking about in the movie?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But there's a comic for him too. Like there's like
a
game for him and all that stuff.
I looked up the different ones because there's a girl, the Asian girl.
Yep. And she's in the robot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one was great. That was sick.
That was
that part was cool.
Yeah. So what was you saying?
No.
About.
But because you said that Spider-Man can't kill, it said Sony owns the Spider-Man.
But it has in parentheses under these conditions.
Oh, okay.
If he's wearing symbiote, then he can do what he wants.
If he's wearing a different suit, he can't be wearing blue and red and killing or something along those lines.
Okay, all right, never mind.
He can't do a villainous activity wearing that on.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's wearing the old red and blues or whatever the standard is.
Exactly. It's very
understood.
A new book he had on black and red, but chill out.
In any case, I don't really care for that deal. Good for Netflix or good for Sony or whoever. It just sucks for me that they don't give up Spider-Man. Sony let go of Spider-Man. I wish for that, but it's not gonna happen. It's fine. All right, whatever.
Yeah, I don't care either way, really. I just keep letting them do the films. Just keep letting them do the films. besides that, sign me up for Spider-Verse 2, bro, because you knocked it out the park first.
There you go.
I think it's relatively interesting. I'm indifferent also, but like I said earlier in the segment, they're taking movies and videos seriously because now they have a deal with the biggest streaming service out there and biggest anime services out there. So they're taking film rather seriously. I want to see what
they own those anime services now, right?
They own them too. Yeah, they corner the anime market essentially.
They're not doing deals with them; they are it.
Yeah. So let's see what direction they're going with that. Lastly, Epic versus the rest of them, especially Steam.
Versus the rest of them.
Especially Steam. Them boys are spending money. Apple thinks it's a waste. Epic says this is an investment. Meet me in 2023.
Hey man, if it works out, I'm hyped for them. I think they're crazy, but if it works out, that's what's up. Shouts out to them. They made the investment. I think they're crazy. Shouts out to them. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they're crazy.
This truly is their business plan, and it's been working. Like you don't have to pay for Unreal anymore. It's just all subscription services and whatever their business model. If it's working and it's getting them higher valuations and more cash, and it's working, then do you? I want to see where it goes. See you like what is it, May 3rd? See you May 3rd. Let's see what you got.
Are we gonna get an Epic Game Pass? Who knows? Find out next time.
Oh, and with that being said, this has been yet another episode of Trigger Talk TV.